Hi guys, Kyung here, and I thought we'd play around a little bit. I got a request from Jen to make a journal cover to show how I make like my fabric journal covers. And I'm working on this purple journal right here. This is a purple journal that I'm working on for the lovely lady who makes my soap, right? The lady who makes my soap. Which, look at my hands, isn't it terrible? I don't know what's going on. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I figure we'll make a cover to go with it. So the first thing is, here's my fabric. It's just some of my fabric. This is just a very small bit. Oh, look at this one. I like this one. It's got gold in it. It's a little pink though, huh? This one has moons. It's kind of magic. I kind of like that. We'll pull this out. Maybe we'll use a little bit of it. I don't know. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. Let's see what else do we have for purple. We have this one. This is gorgeous, right? We could even come in and dye some. We could put some dye in it, right? Make it even more purple. Let's see. What else do we have in here? We don't have anything really else purple. Oh, we have these butterflies. We'll pull some of this out. The butterflies. Let's see, bees and bees. I need to make a bee journal. I've never made one. I've never made a bee journal. I think that would be a fun project, I think. Let's see. I don't have any more purple in here. I can always go on the hunt. I have purple in my big bin. But for now, we'll just leave this out. This will be fine. We'll use what I pulled. So yeah, I don't know, my hands have started getting bad again. And, ever since I started using Kayla's soap about a year ago, I haven't had an issue. But the winter is coming. And I'm wondering if maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Because I was even like, well, I'll take a break. And I won't craft much for this week. And I won't do a lot of chores this week. I'll make everyone else do the dishes. And they're still bad. And I notice, look, down my hand here. It's like eczema or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just the dry weather. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's just pull this one page out. I'm just going to pull this one page out just to get a good idea of size. So my size of my journal is basically an 8.5 by 11 folded in half. That's what it is. But I'm thinking I'm going to leave about a 2-inch spine. So we're going to need a 2-inch spine. And then we want to leave about 1.5 to 2 inches all the way around it as well. Because otherwise it's easier to cut it down smaller than it is to add onto it, right? So let's see. I think that looks about right. But again, we're going to leave a 2-inch spine. So we're going to want it 2 inches longer this way. Let's see. I'm going to eyeball it. Let me heat up my iron and grab a little pair of scissors so we can rip this fabric. So this is how I rip my fabric instead of cutting it, because that's a pain to get it straight. Is I just cut a little piece here, right? And then you just rip it. And when you rip it, it rips along the seam and it'll rip it straight. If it curls at all, it's just because of the couple of threads on your end. You just have to pull those couple of threads out and it won't curl anymore, right? Just these little bits of thread. All right. And if it still curls, just pull another thing of thread. Just pull another little layer of thread out. And it does good. And you get a little bit of fray anyway, which looks nice. And I love the fray. And we're going to iron it because look at it. It needs ironed. So that's the only problem with working with fabric. I wish that they hadn't cut that. Look at that. They cut my little salvage edge thing, right? That gives me my little colors. Oh, well, it's a little bit but I'm going to trim this edge off. Give us a good, nice, straight, clean edge. And I'll save this, right? We could use this for snippets and all kinds of things, because, hey, why not save everything? Okay, so I'm going to make it like this. right? Just to be safe. And, well, let's see. How many inches is that? That's 3 inches. So I'll do 4 on this side. Okay, just to be safe. Oh, my iron beeped. Just to be safe, because we have to think about seam allowance. Okay, because we're going to have to do a seam. We're going to have to fold it over and do a seam. And the 2-inch spine, right? Because I always forget to put in the spine, and then it's always too small, and I have to... And then I have to sew in a piece of lace or something on its edge. Okay, so we're going to iron it, and the easiest way to iron, I've noticed, is if you use a little bit of water. Use a little bit of water, and that really helps you press your fabric and get all the wrinkles out. So I'm going to take my little homemade ironing board. So I made this ironing board from a cutting board, a little wooden cutting board that you get at the Dollar Tree. And then look, I just stapled a piece of quilt batting and a piece of cotton, just white muslin cotton. And ta-da, I have a little ironing board. It was like an idea I had. I think, well, I don't know if I came up with it. I think I saw someone made one. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to keep up, you know. Don't think it matters. If it was someone else's idea, though, I do apologize for forgetting. But yes, I love my little homemade ironing board. It is so useful. As for my little iron, this was kind of an expensive little thing. My husband got it for me for my birthday. And I was like, I don't need an iron. I have an iron. And he was like, would you use it? Do you love it? I was like, yes. He was like, well, then we're getting it. It was cute. So it made me happy. The ladies that worked at the craft store thought it was all cute and everything, you know. They were all giggling with each other about it and everything. Okay. So, I mean, you know, I'm not going... There's still a little bit, right? You could see a little bit of creases, but that's okay because we're going to cover a lot of it's... We're going to put lace and all kinds of things, so it'll be fine. Let me just get this bottom half pressed. You know, and if you want it even better, you can always go over it again. But I don't really care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I just don't want it ridiculously ridiculous, you know. So it's basically, so once you have your measured out piece of fabric, it acts as like a canvas, right? So this will be the base for my cover. And then we can decorate it and stuff. I do put batting. And then if I'm going to keep it a fabric cover, I'll use fabric on the inside. Sometimes I'll make it a quilted hardcover. So I'll put a piece of like card in between my fabric and my like in behind my batting so that it's right. So it's nice and like sturdy too. But I think this one will just leave it fabric. Keep it easy. Just leave it all fabric. And, you know, I was thinking about it for people who don't have, because I was thinking about the sewing machine, you know, the whole sewing machine thing. Because a lot of people don't like sewing machines, don't use them, don't have one, etc., etc. And I was thinking, I think this would all work using fabric glue. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Okay, so a piece of batting. Let's grab that. So I get mine. This is like a piece of natural cotton quilt batting. I got mine on Amazon, and I get the cheap stuff. So this is actually, because it's smaller than what you would get for a quilt, right? Because quilts are huge. These are like smaller cuts, And so, I mean, I suppose you could use them for baby blankets, but they're kind of sold as like, I don't know. I guess you can microwave it and it shrinks. You like wet it and then microwave it or something and it shrinks or something. I don't know. Don't ask me. But I don't ever do that. I don't use it for that. I use it for batting, as you would in a quilt, right? So we want to cut it smaller than our fabric piece. Let's get it all flat here if we can. Okay, we have a section. I have a section kind of flat. Okay. We want to cut it, smaller than our piece. It's not too big of a deal. We can always trim it. And again, it's easier to trim than it is to add. So I think for now, I'll just cut it at the size of our fabric. Just to be safe, since it's like a giant piece on my desk. Okay. I'm just going to roughly cut it along here. Okay, come on. Oops. Okay. Goodness. All right, so you get quite a few covers and other, whatever else you want to use it for with that piece of batting, and it's pretty cheap. So here is our back, right? This is the back of our cover. And again, we're going to want to trim our batting, right? Because we don't want to fold too much of the batting over. I suppose we could. It does give a nice pillowy feel. I suppose it depends on what you're going for. But okay, so we have that. We're going to flip this back over. Now, which way is our right side? I think this is the right side, right? I think it's facing, I don't know. Maybe not. So this will be the front and this will be the back, right? So if we fold it in half, this will be, and of course it's not going to be the size. This is huge, right? But if we look at our journal folded, and we come in here, and we're going to have a 2-inch spine, right? So it'll be like this, actually, right? Because we have this whole spine area. And then this will all be folded in and hemmed. So that's about right. And again, we can trim it down. But so we're working on our center. It's definitely pretty big, but that's okay. I would, again, rather have it be big than small. So I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to put a little small mark. I'm going to put a small mark on where I think I'm going to give some space for the spine, about 1 inch. And I'm just going to put a little mark here and a little mark here and another one down here and another one there. This is just going to give me an idea of where my canvas is, right? Where am I working? What's going to be seen? Because if we glue any flowers or anything over here where we're going to stitch it, it will be a pain. All right, so it's just this square. It's kind of in the middle, this little square area. So now we can decorate it and think about what we want it to look like. Let's see, I have this stuff. I have a bunch of this stuff. Let's see, what do we have? I have this. This is kind of a different color purple. Huh. It's almost more blue colored comparatively. We have this piece of purple quilted something. I don't know if I'm going to use any of this stuff. I like this. I might use this somewhere. Let's put this up here like that, just in this top corner, right? And our spine, here's our line for our spine right here. So it'll be good. It'll be right here. We can actually, let's put a piece of lace down our spine just to like indicate our spine. Let's see. And this is where all my wide lace gets used a lot. We have this pretty one. How long is it? Oh, look at it. It's perfect. It's a perfect length. Is it wide enough though, you know? I don't think so. It's a 2-inch wide lace. Okay. I've got everything is all piled up around me. You can't tell, but it is. Okay, let's fold this in half again so that we can get our lace right where I want it. Yeah, so see? So here is where we want the lace to end. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to tack this down with some glue. A little bit of Fabri-Tac, just a little bit along the edge, just because I don't want it to shift. I'm like, is there any coming out? It's hard to tell, you know, with Fabri-Tac, sometimes your glue bottle gets clogged. You'll be thinking glue's out, coming out of it, and it's not, especially when you can't see it. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, so that is tacked down, and we know where our center is, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to put this here because I like that. That's pretty. Let's see, what else do we have? I have this sari silk. It's a little dark purple, isn't it? It's very dark, isn't it? I'm not quite sure. I'm not sold. We have some of this. What is this? Some vintage hem facing. Polyester hem facing. Let's just open this up. Ooh, it has a lovely feel. 50% polyester, 50% cotton. You can tell it's vintage. This plastic is just, it's like disintegrating in my hands. We'll keep this. That's cool, huh? Self-basting zipper offer. Okay. Let's grab some of this. This looks like bias. Is this cut on the bias? I think this is cut on the bias. This is bias tape. So bias is the horizontal, right? So fabric has different like weaves, right? You have this way and you have this way, and it different ways is different stretchy, right? So like this is stretchy this way, this is less stretchy, right? So that would be your salvage edge. If you were to sew, you would want to sew along because then it wouldn't stretch. You don't have the stretch like you do this way. Now, if you go diagonally, you get a lot of stretch. Watch. Look at that. That's a lot of stretch, right? Compared to that. Anyway, I don't know. These are all things I learned in sewing class. Okay, that's over. All about the bias tape. The bias tape. Are we biased against bias tape? Nope. I'm not. We welcome all kinds of tape here. Even non-sticky kinds. Okay. Let's just put that down. Let's just put a piece of this down. And, what else do we have that we could play with? I have some purple laces and stuff. Ooh, I like that on top of that. Like that. Ooh, that's pretty. There we go. We'll put that down. Let's see what else. What else do we have in the lace box? My messy lace box. I have these. Right? These are also like vintage kind of, what is this? Seam binding. Lacy seam binding. This is like a dark purple that kind of matches that. We could layer it. I wonder how that would look. Put this one here. Right, and we put this one over the top of it like this. No, do we not like it? I like the purple. The dark purple over that light. We have this purple, and we can put this one over here. We could layer it like this. It looks better on top of the white. Anyway. maybe a little bit more down this way. You could go this way with it. Oh, I like it like this. Let's do that. And then, what else do we have in here? Do we have... here we go. Here's like a white seam binding. We can layer this one on top of that one. Like this. Ooh, and it'll be a pretty layered lace spine, right? Okay, so we have that going. I like it. We have this here. What else can we put? So this can kind of go, I'm thinking, right, we tacked this down. Tuck this under here like this. Yeah, that looks nice, and that makes the edge of the lace pop out, right? Let's see, what else do we have? We have this little tiny piece of lacy trim. I think this was sent to me by Judy. This one, this piece. There was a couple of like purple things that Judy sent me. Let's see, what else do we have? I have like pearls and things, but I'm trying to think of like fabric-y things we're gonna stick down on our... I'm thinking maybe we need like a nice piece of something here, fancy, something fancy. Let's see, we have this. This is lovely. I like that. It could sit along, we could sit along the top. Like that. What do we think about that? I don't know. I kind of do like it. We could go in and... Yeah, I think I like that. We'll leave that for now. I do have these pieces, though, too. I have, like, this gathered piece. I don't know about that. It's a little... I might take the gathering out of it and, like, press it, right? I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure with that one. Let's see, what else? Let's see, we have some more of this. Let's see, this is pink. Oh, look at this little piece of embroidery goodness. Oh, no. Okay, so this goes here like this. This sits like this. I love this. We can tuck this in here as well. This can go. Like that. What do we think of that? I like it. I don't know, maybe down here instead. I can cut this. Because we have to remember, yeah, we're about here, so. Like that. Oh, it's cute. I like it. What else do we have? We have this piece. It's a little blue. Some other purple pieces. That's got a lot of green in it. Not the right green. This little piece. Some green. Oh, I love that. That's a lovely color. Okay, so there's those little pieces of purple stuffs. Let's see, we've got another like quilted piece. Oh, we have another piece of this. Now, I think Jean sent me like a piece of fabric that had these purple, and this is like, this is what I have left over from it. Oh, look, I think this might fit along like that. Like this. Look, it will. Oh, that's lovely. Right, we'll do that. We have this piece left. Not sure. We could just leave it out, right? I could just leave it out, leave it for something else. Oh, this is nice. Don't know what I'll do with that. That's kind of really cool. Let's see, we've got this trim. We could put some ribbon. This is lovely. It's like yellow. It's got like a yellow color. Let's see, what else do we have? This one. Got some rickrack, but it's kind of cream. Okay, so there's all of that. There's that little box of stuff. Let's see, I've got some of this that's wrapped and tangled in everything. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I have some of this stuff. Oh goodness. I had another piece of white lace right here. Where did it go? It's disappeared. Probably got stuck to this. Aha! I found it. Okay, that goes there. So I have these little pieces, right, of like the purple that we can play with. I'm thinking I'll tack those down along the edges of these purple lacy pieces. Right, so I'll put one there. I'll put one along here like this. Let's see. Where shall... Oh, and I think maybe, yes, across here like this on this one. All right. So now I just need to start tacking things down, like for my fabric pieces. So let's see, we're going to lift this one up. Okay, so let's tack this purple piece down first. Just using a little bit of Fabri-Tac. Oh, come along, glue, come along. It's kind of chilly. When it's chilly, the glue is not happy. Just does not react well. Come on. Now it's clogged. Please don't do this to me. I saw that Art Glitter Glue has come out with a new fabric glue. I'm so excited to try it. I'm going to order some, and I'm going to try it. We're going to see, because I'll tell you, one gets tired of fighting with the Fabri-Tac all the time. Oh, look at it. It's because it's cold. Like, it does this when it's cold. It, like, thickens up and gets all gloopy. Okay, so this piece... Look, and it's been so long now that I don't remember. Okay, so this is going to go here, and that's going to go right there. So this goes right here. Right, so that when we tuck this over, this sits just barely over it. Okay, and now this piece I'm going to also tack down. There we go. And now I can get this piece. Just tack it down. Okay, and now I'm going to get this purple one. It's going to sit here. Just a little tiny bit. We don't need a lot. I'm just, because I'm going to stitch it. So if you weren't going to use a sewing machine, right? You'd want to glue it down, everything down better. You'd want to glue all of its edges and, right, since you're not using a sewing machine. Or if one was not using a sewing machine. All right. There we go, some layered lace on our spine. It's all tacked down. So it theoretically should not be shifting everywhere, theoretically. Okay, let's see. Let's get this one. It's going to sit like that. Just get these little edges. Okay. And now this big purple piece, I'm going to try and do it kind of on its, right on its fold, right where the little folds are, so that it doesn't soak through as much as possible if we can help it. I'm going to do this side too. All right. Now this piece gets glued here. Look at it glue. Oh, glue. Please. All right. Just right along the edge like that. All right. Awesome. Okay, now let's tack this one down. We're going to tack this down here. Cool. Okay, so we're going to go right along. Like that. Okay, awesome. Okay. Now we need to tack down our little pieces. So I kind of trimmed them bigger on purpose so that I could go in and I could put them, look at this glue, look at what it's doing to me. I'm telling you. It's just not being cooperative. Okay, just a little tiny bit. Tuck it under that piece of lace, like that. Now this piece, right, we're also going to tack this one down. These ones I want to kind of glue down good, because I'm not really going to stitch over this. I don't know, maybe I will. Okay. Let me glue this down, since actually thinking about it, and I'm not gonna stitch around the sides of these purple ones, since we're putting these cute little trims. Okay, it's facing outwards, huh? Since that's how we faced our first one. Nice. Okay, perfect. That's what a pain, huh? Okay, so I have this piece, and I think this is my long piece that goes this way, and this is the piece that goes this way. So let me just make sure it's all glued down. my edges. Oh, this glue. It's warming up a little bit, so it's starting to get a little better. Less goopy. Gloopy. Should I just go all the way down? I think I'll go all the way down with it. Like that. Okay, and then this one goes along like this. And I'm going to trim it under here. Let me make sure that this is glued down good. Okay, I think I'll put it down this side first. Let's see. Cut it a little bit longer and we'll tuck it under there like that. Ta-da! So this is a problem, right? But whatever, I'm not worried about it. We're going to stitch it and we're going to add flowers and stuff. So I'm thinking that's good for the, that's good for now. I'm not going to do much else to it. I am going to glue down this edge. So I'm going to tack this down so it's like folded over because I like it. Okay. So there is our cover so far. Oh, now I'm going to stitch it. Okay, so this is, I suppose I'll do it on camera. Might as well. I think I'm angled good. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is stitch. I think I'm going to stitch along here. Should I stitch along here? I think I'm going to. I think I'll stitch it in a zigzag, and I think I'll do it from here. I could go like all around this. I could be all fancy about it. Should we be all fancy about it? What's my bobbin thread like? We're good. Right, we can just stitch around it. Okay, so this one is stitched, right, all along the edge here, right? And it's not perfect, but it looks better. I think it looks better than if we were to just go straight across or whatever. So I'm going to zigzag this one, or I'm going to stitch this one zigzag. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to snip off all our little threads. I've stitched, I stitched along here, I'll stitch along both of these edges in here, but this is messed up, so I'm going to put a ribbon. I stitched along there and then down each of these laces. So there's a bit of stitching. All right, and it's lovely. Very happy with it. So if we were to like fold this in half, right? There is like our cover. It's gorgeous. I love it. Right? So it's lovely. We can put flowers on it and stuff. Think about all that stuff. So now that we're stitched, let's put a little plate on it. So I use these, and they're like for jewelry boxes, I think. And they come with, like, they came with all these little screws, which I don't use because I'm not putting them into wood. I'm not screwing them into wood. I use, instead, I use little brads. So I've got these little brads, right? The little brads. And so I use these, and they work great. They work perfect for this. They fit perfect. So let's see. We're going to decide where we want it, and then we'll have to put some, like, paper in there. Any kind of paper, right? Just a scrap paper will work. Look at that. I almost cut it perfectly sized. How awesome is that? All right. Where did this come from? This must be a snippet that I trimmed off. Okay, so this is going to go like this. And where do we want it? Do we want it like that? Perhaps like a little bit over our purple lace. We could put like flowers and stuff around. I'm thinking that's what we'll do. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac. Okay, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of Fabri-Tac along the edges. This is going to keep our paper from shifting too much. Like that. Oh, I thought I grabbed that string. Little string. Okay, we got it. Okay, then I'm going to put another piece of glue on the back. Bum, bum. I'm going to put it where I want it. Right there. Okay. And I'm going to let it sit there for just a second so that it doesn't shift on us too much. I'm going to grab my little pokey tool, right? My little one. I'm going to poke holes in my fabric. And I'm doing this before we put the back on because that way the backs of our brads will be hidden. Why is it? Do not do this to me. Go in. Just, there we go. Goodness. Okay, there's that one. Awesome. Okay, we're going to turn it over. And then I'm going to separate the little brads over our batting. Ta-da! Then our nameplate will be in there. It'll be in there. little nameplate. For I think it might be a little crooked. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Okay. Ta-da! Yay! So now we need to think about the back of it. So here is our piece, right? And look, our spine is here. Let's see. Thinking. Oh, it's way too... I don't want to fold it all. It's way too... I always make it way too... Okay, that's right, because we want it a little bigger anyway. So you want it to be bigger than that. I don't know why I went to all the trouble to glue that down, because we're going to trim this. We're going to trim it. Just trim it. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Ta-da! Okay, now we're going to trim the bottom. I'm not going to trim it as much because we still need to fold it over. Right? Okay, and then it can be trimmed quite a bit. Quite a bit. Okay, so we want it bigger than our journal, see? We want it bigger than the journal, and I'm hoping I didn't trim too much, forgetting that we were folding things over. Okay, so now we need a back piece, and I'm just going to grab a piece of fabric. What kind of fabric? All right, so here we go. I found this cute little purple fabric with polka dots and bows. Isn't it darling? It's like vintage, and I didn't have very much of it, but I have a little bit of it and enough for a journal cover. So this will be our inside. This will be the inside of our journal. And so basically what we need to do is we need to fold it over a little bit, right? Fold it over a little bit and then stitch it all the way around. So we want it, let's see, we want it a little bit, we want it a little bit thinner than this. Right, so we have a little bit of a border. Okay, and I'm going to cut the corners. So we're going to cut the corners. Again, it's not even, huh? Because I don't measure things. If you want everything to be even and everything, measure things. But I don't ever measure anything. Okay, so I'm going to cut the corners like this. I'm going to cut them. Okay. And then I'm not going to tack it. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew it as I go. Okay, so I'm going to grab Mr. Sewing Machine. All right, hello, Mr. Sewing Machine. Okay, so I've gone through and I've trimmed all my batting down, right, to fit the size of my, I just went through and I trimmed it. See, just to kind of more fit the size of my purple piece. And so I'm going to fold over this piece like this, and I'm going to choose a zigzag stitch. Fold this all the way over like that. And if I wanted to even be more particular, I would have pinned it, but I really don't care. I'm just going to do it as I go. I'm just going to kind of fold it like this. All right, so there we go. We have our first edge stitched, right? And then we come to this corner, and don't worry about that. Just fold over the next piece like this. And here we have our inside cover. Dum dum. Isn't it lovely? So it's all stitched and everything. We're a little wide, but that's okay because again, remember we have a 2-inch spine. Because I'm going to stitch 2 signatures into it. And we'll deal with these corners here in a second. Let me just trim off all my most of my little ends. Okay. So if we were to put this in here, you see, right? We have this beautiful journal cover, right? And it's going to sit like that, right? Because it's got a thicker spine. Ta-da! And you open it, and here is your journal, right? And your inside cover piece. So it's lovely. I love it. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I'm very, very pleased with it. Okay, so we got to think about, what do we do? Oh, corners. So I have this little drawer of corners. Thinking I'll do these big silver ones. Yeah, those are lovely. They kind of don't really match our nameplate though, do we? We can use copper. Let's see, I have these big copper ones. These like the antique bronze or whatever you would call it. This one. Here it is. So I have 4 corners, and I'm gonna cut that. So these are gonna fit on each corner of our journal, like this. And so what I like to do, so I like to put a little tiny bit of Fabri-Tac along the just the edge of the corners. And then just press them shut. Ta-da! So there's one corner. It should not take 7 years for the glue to come down to the bottom of my bottle. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, and then look at it. Look at it take forever to come. Oh, it's just too chilly down here. I'm telling you. I need a bottle warmer. A bottle warmer. That'll do it. That'll fix it. Then it'll be too warm, huh? Okay. Ta-da! So there's our corners. Ta-da! It's a journal cover. Isn't it amazing? Now the only thing we need to do is the tie. The tie. And so I like to just do this. And I learned this from Julie. I saw Julie over at Camellia Crafts do this quite a long time ago. Okay, let's see. Doop. Doop, doop. This is like our center. I'm going to guesstimate. Because that's what we do. That's what we do here. We guesstimate. Okay. I'm going to punch a hole here. Then I'm going to punch another hole right there like that. And then we'll use these. I'm going to cut this one in half like that. This piece of sari silk. And we'll use that for our tie. So I'll poke it through like that. Right. Go like that. Oh, they're a little small, huh? They might be a little small. I might have to put longer ones on there once I put a journal in there. We will see. We will see. I have a longer piece if I end up needing to. Ta-da! See? And then it closes like this, and you tie it like this. And it's tied. So there's our cover. So at this point, we can do more, right? We can decorate it more. We can put flowers on it. Let's see what we have. We have this lovely purple flower. Let's put this on there. Cut that little plastic end off. Stick this flower on there like this. What else do we have in here? While that sticks, let's just make a mess. Ooh, we have this one. This one's cute. Little purple flower with a little bling. What's this one? We have that one. Is that flower stuck? I think so. So we have this one or we have this one. I kind of really like that one. Let's put this one on there. Cut this little plastic piece off. Should have got my hot glue gun out. You know, a hot glue gun would work really well for this project, I think. You could just hot glue gun the whole thing. I think that would work great. Instead of using the... I could put this one up here. I kind of like that. Let's do it. Put that one there. What else do we have? So we have those flowers. We have this really cool kind of fabric-y leaf thing. Isn't that cool? I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. We put a couple flowers on there. We could put buttons. I would have liked, if I was going to put buttons, I would have put them on before I put the back, because I like to stitch them on, you know. But I kind of like, it's a very simple, cute little journal cover, and I really like it. It's finished. So yeah, I'm going to call it there. I think it's good. I'm not going to add anything else to it. I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to leave it like that. So there is a little purple fabric journal cover. Easy to do. And like I said, I think that without a sewing machine, I think you could just go through, especially with a hot glue gun, and just glue everything. I think it would work fine. But yay, there it is. I had so much fun. I will see you in a couple of days because I'm going to have like a happy mail video. I decided I'm going to do that at the end of every month, I think. I think that will be fun. So I will see you for that, and I will talk to you later. Bye.